What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. All right, let us begin. I know everybody sleeps, so I'm gonna go and drop this. Now, here we have the movie The Shining and Doctor Sleep and Dark Towers. Now, these movies are actually a trilogy. You got two actual sequels and one unofficial sequel. And what connects these movies? The Shine. How do we know it connects these movies? Because he mentions The Shine in all three movies. You see what I'm saying? And so, I'm going to discuss how these three movies are related and what is The Shine. Let's start there. Let's start with what is The Shine. The Shine is pretty much psychic power, psychic force, or the force. You see what I'm saying? That's all the Shine is, the force. You see what I'm saying? There's no name for it. Psychic force, psychic power. You see what I'm saying? Psychic energy. That soul force. You see what I'm saying? That soul energy that dwells inside of you. That primordial spark. You see what I'm saying? That primordial sun, soul that lives within you. That's what the Shine is, right? Now, Stephen King originally dropped the movie The Shining in 1980, which was really a ritual for the people at the time to shut their third eyes down. But we gonna make it happen. You have Jack Torrance and his wife Wendy Torrance and the son Danny Torrance, and they travel to this hotel. And while they travel to this hotel, known as the Overlook Hotel, they come across, Danny comes across, they all come across it, a guy by the name of Dick Halloran, right? And Dick Halloran, he separates the mother and father from the son and sits Danny down and let him know that he has the Shining. Now, this is the first time he talks about it. The Shining, as he explained, is pretty much our soul glow and our soul force. Everybody has the Shining to a varying degrees, but there are always a few chosen ones, starseeds, are chosen as representatives of the force, or the Shine in this case, who go out and put in the work on the planet to keep the balance of the planet, to heal the planet, and fucking eventually ascend the planet, right? But they always spread knowledge. They always shine their soul glow. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Ashley? They always shine their soul glow in this movie, right? So he explains to him what the shining is, and Danny can feel it. He knows something wrong with this place because before they got there, Tony started telling him his visions, but he thought Tony is actually his higher self. You see what I'm saying? But which is the personification of your soul. You see what I'm saying? Your inner deity inside you. What's up, Colleen? So he telling him what the shining is. He talked to him, and Danny begins to ask about the fucking hotel because he can feel like something wrong with this hotel. You see what I'm saying? It's unbalanced. It's unstable. It's destabilized. So what is this? It is the hotel, or the Overlook Hotel seems to be haunted by a group of dark beings. You see what I'm saying? And this group of dark beings are literally energetic vampires or archons. They're literally archons. And they telling you that they archons. And what do archons do? They suck what they like to call the breath out of you. Your life force out of you. Like we've been telling you. They show you straight up in The Shining what it is. You see what I'm saying? And what they're doing. So, what goes on in The Shining? What happens is they move in and these beings begin to hunt them. And slowly but surely, you always gonna notice that they break the family up by attacking the man first. Why do they always attack the man first? They attack the man first because the man represents the aspect of reason, logic, and rationality. So it's easier to fuck them up because they're not used to being exposed to the intuitive faculties. You see what I'm saying? They're not used to being exposed to the supernatural most of the time. You see what I'm saying? So it's easier to attack the man than it is the woman a lot of the times. So that's why you always see this theme of the man getting attacked or getting possessed or something in these horror movies, because the man is more susceptible because he is usually not exposed to the intuitive aspect of your inner being. You see what I'm saying? So of course, these beings start to drive Danny's father crazy. Now, Danny, these names are special. Dick Halloran is, the Dick is the phallus, and Halloran is Halo, or the Enlightened One. You see what I'm saying? He represents the Enlightened One, the old sage, the old Grandmaster Jedi. You see what I'm saying? He a Master Jedi now. You see what I'm saying? So, and he passes his wisdom on to Danny Torrance, which Torrance is Latin for polished or smooth and polished. You see what I'm saying? So Dan, and Dan, I already told you that's 13 bloodline. So the polished soul. You see what I'm saying? That's what his name represents. The polished soul, cause he wore in the movie he wore the shirt Apollo, with the name Apollo, the Greek god of the sun. So they telling you right there, he's the sun, the soul, the polished soul. So I'm gonna call them the shiners because they're the ones that's bringing light. They're the star seeds that's bringing light back to the planet or trying to balance out the force, right? So what goes on in this particular movie is they start to drive Danny's father, Jack, crazy. He loses his goddamn mind because they start possessing him with dark thoughts, and he started losing himself more and more to the house. You see what I'm saying? To the hotel. And eventually he loses himself completely. You see what I'm saying? And so he snaps and tries to kill Danny and Wendy. You see what I'm saying? So when he tried to do this, of course, Danny sent out a signal or a message, telepathic message to Dick. Dick comes up there and Danny kills him. Of course he killed him. That's an old school teaching there, where the sage or the master is always getting killed, so because that represents the end of one cycle and the beginning of the next. So it was no longer his time. He did his job. He passed down the message to Danny. Now it's Danny's time. He's the new living heir of the Force, living heir of the Shine. You see what I'm saying? So what happens? Danny's father attacks him. His mother, being very resourceful, very powerful woman, Wendy, she does the best she can to stop him. So Danny takes him out there. So Danny leads his father out of the house into the maze. The maze represents the internal pathways or the internal network of your mind or your brain. You see what I'm saying? The neuronic network of your brain. You see what I'm saying? That you navigate through. So you navigate through the pathways of your brain, your subconscious and unconscious mind. That's what the house represents. It represents those toxic forces that live inside you that you have yet to conquer and cleanse out of you. You have yet to purge all of your shadow self. That's what they were showing you in room 237. Room 237 equals up to 12. 12 equals 3. 3 is the number of your higher self. But when you go into the room, the main situation is in the bathroom, which is the color of green, gold, and white, which is your heart soul. And what happens? A fucked up looking woman, a dead woman, always rises up out of the water. This is the suppressed and oppressed feminine energy. You see what I'm saying? That's what she represents. The oppressed feminine energy that's locked down inside of you. You see what I'm saying? And needs to be healed. So that's what's going on here. That's what's happening in room 237. You see what I'm saying? So all hell breaks loose. You also got the golden room. The golden room represents, gold is God. The room, that's why everybody dance and have a good time. That's where all your conscious forces at. Well, that's technically the upper room. You see what I'm saying? Your third ventricle. Where all your forces reside, your all-seeing eye and all of that. And, that's where that's where they taught Jack into killing everybody. They literally walked him into a red bathroom, which is the root chakra. But we already know it's not really the root chakra. It's really these toxic beings, these archonic beings, the ELF frequencies, extra low frequencies. You see what I'm saying? So archonic frequencies. So he was vibrating on his root chakra, and so he was more susceptible to those archonic frequencies. And so they tore his ass up. And so he tried to kill him. Danny led him out into the maze. His mama had already beat him one time with a bat, so he was already weakened. So he led him out into the maze, and he tricked him in the maze, and Danny escaped the maze, and Jack dies in there. You see what I'm saying? He dies in there, and they escape the hotel. You see what I'm saying? That's pretty much what the shining is about. He listened to his shine. He listened to his inner self. And his inner self told him to set up a trap for him, tricked him, and he went the wrong way into the maze and got lost. And that's where he died and froze to death, because they was on top of a mountain. In Colorado, of course. Denver, Colorado, of course. So, you got a lot going on. So that's the first shine. That's what happens. They escape. They get free of this cursed energy, this cursed realm, which was really his subconscious and unconscious mind, all the fucked up forces in his shadow self. On another level, they represent the cabal. You see what I'm saying? Eating children, attacking children, and all that. But since how they already did, it's more supernatural. So we're dealing with mainly the archons in the supernatural realm. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the first Shining was about. What's up, Brian? Now, the second Shining movie that comes out is literally probably one of the best movies I've seen this year, Dr. Sleep. That's the name of it. And Dr. Sleep is Danny's nickname in this movie for helping people pass on to the afterlife. You see what I'm saying? Because he's a soul empath now. You see what I'm saying? So he's learned quite a few abilities with helping souls transition from this plane to the next. Now, in Dr. Sleep, Now he's the Jedi Master. You see what I'm saying? He's learned most of his lessons from Dick at this point. So now, he pretty strong. He finds his way. He starts out the movie running from himself. Still dealing with the bullshit that he was dealing with, and eventually he would come up out that shit and deal with his insecurities and bullshit for the most part, right? So, what's going on in this movie is you got a bunch of nomadic semi-demons or archons in this movie in the physical. Physically embodied archons who is archons who's possess human hosts. How about that? Who's possess human hosts. And they're known as the True Knots. And they literally just travel around the country finding people with the shine and literally attacking them and stealing their shine, their life force. You see what I'm saying? Because the shine is your life force, your soul force, right? And they tell you exactly how they do it in the movie. They say we like to stab them and hurt them the most because they fear and pain cleanses the shine, the breath, as they said. And when they stab them, the breath come up out of them, the shine come up out of them, and they suck it up and eat it. Cause remember, the archons are energetic vampires, celestial vampires. So they literally feeding off their shine, absorbing it into themselves to make themselves stronger, heal themselves, regenerate themselves, whatever you want to call it. And this group is known as the True Knots, or in reverse, not true. You see what I'm saying? The True Knots, or the Knot, are pretty much the forces of anti-awakening. They do not give they love to go around taking people strong in the shine and feeding off their life force before they become conscious of who they are and become protected. You see what I'm saying? So, this is what the movie is about. You got these True Knots going around taking shine, stealing shine, vamping shine for the most part, right? And there's an introduction to the next generation of Jedi Masters, or the next Shiner, is what I'm calling. And her name is Abra Stone, or Abra Tone, which Abra is short for abracadabra. So she literally represents magic. And stone, if you drop the S, is tone, or magical tone, right? So Abra Stone is the next generation of Jedi or Shiners in this movie. So she gets strong enough at one point in this movie where she can feel and look and see one of the kids getting brutally murdered and killed by these beings and getting his shine or life force stolen. Now it's funny, she's been in contact with Danny for some time, and they was writing on a green board. No, it was writing on a blackboard, which the blackboard represents nothing but melanin. You see what I'm saying? The blackboard is melanin that they've been writing on, right? And so, once she sees this and finds out who it is, of course, when the student is ready, the master appears. So she goes and hunt down Danny. And she tells Danny what's going on. And Danny introduces her to what it is. Now, she called it magic, because that's what she knew it as, which it is. It is magic. And Danny told her, well, we always called it the shining, or just the shine, right? And he then begins to tell her what his teacher, Dick Halroon, told him about the shining, what you can do with it, and what you're capable of with it, right? So he tells her what it is, how it works, or whatever. And of course, he's lived pretty long at this point, of course, when she started to talk about hunting down the True Knot for killing these star seeds for the most part, and sucking up their life force, vamping these star seeds and killing them, then of course Daniel was like, hell no, we ain't dealing with them motherfuckers. Them niggas sound dangerous, right? So what happens next? what happens next? Of course, at first he was neglectful. Then he gets a visit from Dick again. You know, cause he got the ability. Your ancestors never truly die. So Dick is a force ghost at this point, and he's going through his trials on the other side. Cause you never stop training and you never stop learning. What's up, Miss Mimi? You never stop training and you never stop learning. He even mentioned it. This is the last dream I have to go through in this movie, which means it's the last Jedi trial I have to go through before I can pass on to the next level, right? You see what I'm saying? So he tells Danny, like, hey, you need to they coming after that little girl, and you need to go help her and save her, cause you got a debt to pay. And I'm gonna explain what he means by that in a moment. He said you got a debt to pay. So he goes and he finds the little girl, and they hatch a plan to kill off the True Knots. They were pretty much very successful, cause they killed off all but 2 right away. They set them up in the woods and took them out. I ain't gonna spoil it too much because I know it's a new movie, but just know they set them up and took them out, most of them. It was only 2 that was left. Now, one of them captures Abra, and Danny finds her with his shine, and he helps her escape. You see what I'm saying? He helps her kill that member, and so she can escape. So that caused the last remaining member of the True Knot to fucking absorb his, cause they keep some of the breath wrapped up in containers, for when they need more. You see what I'm saying? When they need to recharge themselves. So it's crazy in this movie how they telling you what the Cabal is doing. Like, the Cabal literally hunting down these kids, feeding on them, and taking their sucking up their shine. You see what I'm saying? To live longer. They literally doing it. This is Stephen King is telling the stone cold fucking truth in this movie. They even show you the initiation process, cause they found one of the girls who has the gift. She's a mentalist, and she can use her Jedi mind tricks to get people to mentally do whatever she wants them to do. And so they initiate her. And how you get initiated is you have to suck up somebody else's life force and install it inside your body. Your body then goes through a transformation, and you die and become an archon. Literally, this is how the process works. This is how the process works in this movie. So, as it continues on, she and you be initiated, and they have very long lives as long as they feed every so often. You see what I'm saying? On somebody's life force. So what happens next? They hunt them down, and Danny and Abra hook back up. So what happens? They go. They knew that her name is Rose in the movie. The last member. Her name is Rose the Hat. She's the last member of the True Knot, at least this country's version of the True Knot. And they travel, and so Danny was like, all right, we ain't gonna be able to beat her by ourselves. So he literally travels back to the Overlook Hotel. The circle completes itself, cause that's what Dick told him. The circle is complete now. It ends where it begins. So he goes through the door, and the first place he goes is the ballroom to set some shit up. And of course she follows them to this place, right? And I like what the little girl said when she walked in there. When Abra walked in that motherfucker, she was like, damn, this place is sick. Like, this shit is like cancer, but worse. That was a great description. And Rose comes up in that motherfucker, and hunting them down. And it's funny. I like what Danny said. When the little girl asked him, where you going? He was like, oh, I gotta go wake it up first. I gotta go wake this shit back up. I gotta go wake up the darkness of this place. You see what I'm saying? So what happens next? Rose finds them, and they pretty much have a force battle for the most part. It's pretty much a force battle. You know, more of a, you know, they fighting on the astral plane. They fighting in each other's minds. They lead her into a maze, and they realize how powerful she was when she was able to break out of Danny's mind, right? So she tells the little girl while they was in Danny's mind, she's like, you have a darkness about you that, you know, you got the same darkness as me. But really the darkness that she was talking about was her melanin. That's banging what she was talking about, that melanin. You see what I'm saying? Her melanin was powerful. You see what I'm saying? Because it's black girl now, it's black woman, black goddess here. A little sick bit running around, right? So, you know, it gets real once she break out of Danny's mind and they have pretty much a physical fight, which is pretty much the same fight that Danny's mama had, but it's in reverse. Instead of the woman protecting herself against the father, now the son's protecting themselves against some strange woman. You see what I'm saying? So it's a reverse energy. So just show you how this shit was like circular. And of course, he attacks her, but she fucks him up. And Dick taught him how to trap the beings inside of Overlook Hotel, inside himself in a box. So when she was fucking him up and sucking up his shine, cause she had never experienced shine like that before, she was like, where have you been? Wish we had got you earlier. But anyway, as she sucking up his shine, she look into his mind and see those cases, and he unlocks them and releases all the beings inside of his fucking psyche. And these beings literally eat this bitch and suck her life force up. Cause there's always a bigger meal. There's always a bigger predator, right? Shit, and this is one of the classic situations where sometimes evil can't be defeated by good. Sometimes evil gotta be defeated by another kind of evil, right? This is one of those classic moments where the greater evil consumes and destroys the lesser evil. You see what I'm saying? So they destroy her, but of course they turn their attention to Danny. They possess Danny. Danny goes after the little girl. The little girl goes in the room 237, which is the upper room, the higher self. You see what I'm saying? The room of the higher self. And she see the lady in this motherfucker, right? She see the oppressed and suppressed feminine once again. You know, it's the same shit. And Danny actually blocks that shit and takes himself back over, and he goes on to blow up this hotel, right? So this some crazy shit. What's up, Bartine? This a real interesting fucking movie. So what happens after this? The hotel is destroyed, and he purifies this realm. That was the debt he had to pay. He had to end it all. You see what I'm saying? He had to end where all this shit began, and it began in the early 1900s when they created the fucking hotel. These fucking archon entities. So he had to destroy the first generation of archons. Then that started all this. You see what I'm saying? So cause the True Knots were like a nomadic group. They were their own group. But they showing you in the movie that eventually these arcane motherfuckers gonna get dealt with. They may try to fucking hang on to their power as long as possible. Eventually they gonna get dealt with, no matter what shape, form, or fashion they come in. Whether they fucking in the heavens, in the supernatural, like they was in the first Shining, whether they in the physical, like they was in Doctor Sleep or the second Shining, it don't matter. They gonna get theirs. You see what I'm saying? So this is a dope movie. Very, 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 both of these movies are powerful. You see what I'm saying? So little girl, she gets saved, and she's so powerful in this movie, y'all. She was force pushing motherfuckers. She was doing all type of powerful shit. So little girl, y'all gotta go represent for the little girl. She was getting it in this movie. She, like I said, she was force pushing. She was shattering. She was breaking motherfuckers' mental holes on her. She was seeing through shit. She was sensing. She was feeling. Her force was strong. Her shine was strong. You see what I'm saying? It was something to behold. What's up, Lil Light? What's up, Sherry? It was something to behold in this movie. And shit, she had telekinesis, all that. You see what I'm saying? She was just a very, very powerful Shiner. That's what I'm calling them for this particular group. So we're talking about 3 generations of Shiners. Dick Howard, the melanated phallus, the Baphomet, whatever you want to call him. What's the first generation? The second generation is Danny Torrance, the polished soul. You see what I'm saying? Or Apollo. You see what I'm saying? And then he passed his knowledge on to Abra Stone, or the tone of magic. Literally magic and personified. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Diana? So it's 3 generations of Shiners, and they all came to bring balance to the force for the most part. You see what I'm saying? They came to bring balance to the force in their own way. Dick, the master teacher, Danny, the Jedi, who had destroyed the first generation of fucking. He helped destroy the first and second generation. He had destroyed the supernatural archons, and then he helped destroy the fucking physical archons as well. So it was very powerful move. In the third generation, who of Shiner, who was embodied as Abra Stone, who literally hatched the plan to destroy the fucking the physical archons. You see what I'm saying? So it was very, very powerful movie. It was very, very powerful movie, and they put in work, whooping that ass. They beat these motherfuckers beautifully. So he burned down the fucking hotel and purified that space. So, and he paid his debt to that he owed. You see what I'm saying? To himself first, the Force second, and the planet Mother Earth third, and to the little girl, because he was her teacher that he had to train, and he continued to train her. And at the end of the movie, it's cool. He taught her the techniques that Dick taught him, and she was able to conquer the last of these motherfucking supernatural archons and lock them back down where they fucking belong. You see what I'm saying? And then, you see what I'm saying? The neocortex and the psyche. You see what I'm saying? Where they fucking came from. So yeah, this was a powerful movie. Both of these movies were powerful. Now, those 2 were official sequels. Stephen King made one more, which is called The Dark Tower. You see what I'm saying? The Dark Tower. Get that one on screen there. Now, The Dark Tower is the 3rd unofficial sequel. And you gotta know what you're looking at to tell this. Now, in this movie, like I said, all 3 of them are connected by the shine. Now, the psychic power that they call in fucking Dark Tower, he calls it the shine. I find this interesting. Now, there are 3 major characters in fucking Dark Tower. You had Roland, the gunslinger. You had Jake, the psychic, and then you had Walter, the magi, right? Or the, you see what I'm saying? So, what's going on here? The Dark Tower, let's start with it. The Dark Tower is the melanated spine. Thus the word dark. You see what I'm saying? Dark is melanin. So melanated, and then tower is spine. What's up, Brandon? So the melanated spine. So what happens with the Dark Tower? You see what I'm saying? You had this group led by who you call the Crimson King. Now, who is the Crimson King? The Crimson King is Yaldabaoth, because the Dark Tower story is based off the Tower of Babel story. The same fucking God that came down to confuse the languages, separate all the internal forces inside of you, and fuck shit up and destroy the fucking Tower of Babel is the same being in his in Stephen King's story, known as the Crimson King, who's trying to destroy the Dark Tower in this movie. You see what I'm saying? Trying to destroy the spine once again, the Jed pillar once again. Now, his group is called the Random. You see what I'm saying? And in this group, a particular being by the name of Walter. Walter is what? A Cabal occultist. You see what I'm saying? He's a Cabal occultist, working for the archons to destroy the Dark Tower and let in the raw, unrefined melanin to destroy the world. You see what I'm saying? To destroy the multiverse. See what I'm saying? This cosmos. You see what I'm saying? So that was his job. They were just trying to destroy the shit just for the hell of it. You see what I'm saying? because they was trying to destroy the spine. You see what I'm saying? And of course, the Dark Tower was emitting light because they was synthesizing the melanin from the darkness to produce creation. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's going on here. This is what's happening. So you got Roland, who is the gunslinger. You got Jake, who is the psychic, right? Now, Roland has the ability to resist Walter's magics in this movie. I find it interesting. What if I told y'all that Roland is Albert Stone in the next life, in this life? You see what I'm saying? Because Roland is from a futuristic Earth. I think they call it Prime Earth or Middle Earth or whatever they call it. But he's from a futuristic Earth. You see what I'm saying? So he's literally Albert Stone. In the next life, in the future. You see what I'm saying? In her future life. As she passes on from that life there and goes on into the future life, she becomes Roland. Now, Roland is son of El, which are Jedi Knights, who are of direct lineage to King Arthur. You see what I'm saying? And they have guns that's made out of the metal that created the metal made from Excalibur, which once again, Excalibur is your Kundalini energy. You see what I'm saying? But it was in the form of guns this time. That's why I know guns are lightsabers, because of this movie here. Now, Roland is out to hunt Walter because he killed his people. And the father of Roland is Dick Howrun in this life. You see what I'm saying? Because he sacrificed himself. He got killed he got killed in this movie as well. You see what I'm saying? But he trained Roland. And Roland is the only one who can resist Walter's magic. Who is Walter? Walter is literally who is Walter? He's a Cabal occultist, but in this movie, he is Jack Russo or Jack Torrance reincarnated. You see what I'm saying? And Jake is Danny Torrance reincarnated. You see what I'm saying? And this time, their job is to protect the spine itself, the celestial spine, the celestial force. You see what I'm saying? The Dark Tower, the celestial jet energy that brings consciousness to all. You see what I'm saying? Because the pineal gland synthesizes all melanin and projects it all throughout your body and brings more consciousness into you. You see what I'm saying? So this is nothing new. This is nothing different. So Roland and Jake are sent to protect the fucking Dark Tower from Walter, who is trying to destroy it. Now, once again, we got children. They kidnapping children as well in this movie. So fucking Stephen King trying to tell us something. We got 3 movies here of these motherfuckers kidnapping kids, killing kids, and fucking stealing their fucking life force. Now, this time they're using their life force. They'll shine this time to try to they created a machine to harness their fucking shine to shoot a beamquake, which is the literal name, which is all their soul energy concentrated into a beam, like a laser for the most part, a giant laser for the most part, to strike the Dark Tower so they can destroy it. Now, they called it a beamquake in the movie. Now, every time this beamquake hit the Dark Tower, it affected all the worlds, all the planets, and all the realms in that particular multiverse. You see what I'm saying? So Walter represented that Cabal occultist that is helping the fucking archons keep us locked down here. And they're trying to destroy our spines, our Jed knowledge, our Jed energy, you see what I'm saying? Our force. Because the spine is where the Kundalini rises up so that we can connect back with the Creator once more and become the true and living Jedi Masters that we supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? So a Magi or psychic oracles, whichever your gift is in this life, or whatever your path is in this life, right? So, Roland, he sets out to take out Walter. He meets up with Jake. Jake helps him, He helps him, and it's literally the same story rewritten. You see what I'm saying? It's literally The Shining rewritten. You see what I'm saying? In a different format. And just like they had to balance out the Force in The Shining, they got to balance out the Force again. So they go to, Roland ends up fighting Walter. And Walter, they battle each other in the Force once more. And Jake, they got Jake hooked up to the fucking machine, and Jake battles them motherfuckers with his mind, with his shine. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? With his force. So he literally beats these motherfuckers, and he helps Roland kill Walter. Walter dies, and then Roland frees Jake from the machine, and he destroys the machine with his guns. You see what I'm saying? With his bullets. So, and the machine gets destroyed, wiping the motherfuckers out. So this is what we talking about. This Yaldabaoth energy. These archons are always hard at work to take out, and they always attacking the kids. They always want their shine, and they always want to turn their shine into fear, where they can suck up their life force, because that's when it's up at its periods. They can also extract adrenochrome from their bodies, which is fear at its periods form, because when you're scared, you release this chemical and this chemical helps charges your flight or fight response. You see what I'm saying? So they suck up this adrenochrome in your body and eat it. You see what I'm saying? Drink it and it supercharges them. You see what I'm saying? So, of course, we already know they're eating the melanin and drinking the melanin. We already know that in the glands and shit. We already know that. We know they're organ harvesting for the kids. So they showing you what they doing with these kids in these movies. We got 3 movies here in 3 different situations. Both the supernatural archons, the physical archons, and once again, you got the random, which were pretty much physical and supernatural archons working for the Crimson King, Yaldabaoth. And they all doing the same fucking thing, which is trying to destroy us, our consciousness, first and foremost. They got to destroy the consciousness first. And once they can destroy your consciousness, because your consciousness is what protects you down here. Your spiritual energy is what protects you. Your feminine and masculine energy is what protects you, your shine. So when you protect it with that, then you can literally, you good. So they got to destroy their spine first. That's the first and foremost, their consciousness first. Then they can fucking do whatever they want with you after that. That's basically what they told you in Dark Tower. This is what we have to do to them first. We have to fucking turn their light. We got to turn their light, their consciousness, their soul, their shine, their force into fear first. We got to have them vibrating on the frequency of fear first. And then they eat that shit. You see what I'm saying? We eat their life force, and then we harvest their organs and eat their organs as well. You see what I'm saying? So, and they telling you what it is in this movie. You see what I'm saying? These 3 movies. You see what I'm saying? They telling you a trilogy. You see what I'm saying? Stephen King wrote this shit, which I know he a part of the motherfuckers. He pretty much telling it like it is, like straightforward with that shit. Straightforward, telling them what they doing to the kids and the supernatural, the physical, all that shit. See what I'm saying? So there y'all go. 3 movies connected. The Secrets of the Shine. What is the shine? Like I said, it's your force, it's your magic, it's your chi, it's your psychic power. They tell you that in the Dark Tower as well. It's psychic power, it's psychic force, it's psychic energy. Your internal energy that you acquired from the that is inherent inside of you because you are a child of the Creator. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Devin? And since you are a child of the Creator, you have this force inside you, and you can tune into it and use it to protect yourself and your people when need to. But the catch is you have to learn how to accept that it's there, wield it, and accept that it's there, harness it, and wield it to its wield it to the best of your abilities. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, Devin. There you go. It's the soul and the spirit. So this is what this movie is about, y'all. Or these movies are about. This trilogy. Stephen King trying to tell us something here, goddamn. He made 3 fucking movies. Shit, you got 4 generations of fucking Jedi trying to stop these motherfuckers. Cause you got the first generation with Dick Hallorann, the second generation with Danny Danny Torrance, the third generation with Admiral Stone, the fourth generation with Roland, and the fifth generation, so it's 5 generations with Jake. You see what I'm saying? So it's 5 generations of motherfuckers fighting, shiners of Jedi fighting the archons. You see what I'm saying? Y'all the both in this archonic legions. You see what I'm saying? Through 3 different situations. You see what I'm saying? You got the supernatural archons in the first shining. You got the physical archons in the second shining. And then you got fucking them inside of you. They showing in the Dark Tower, they showing you inside of you the machine that they were using to try to destroy your fucking spine. It's neocortex. Like I've been telling y'all, the neocortex. That's the machine that they was hooking the kids up to shoot beam quakes at the fucking spine. That's your neocortex right there. Yep. So inside of you, the archons have implanted this neocortex, which is literally the supposed intellectual brain, but it really houses the archonic forces of anti-awakening. That's his main mission, to keep you from awakening. The ego, as we call it, edging God out. So you got 3 movies. So the third movie is telling you about the forces of anti-awakening and how they're trying to keep your consciousness locked down. They also show you how there's always a select group of starseeds, of Jedi, or shiners in this case, who will rise up and stop them from doing this shit, no matter what day, time, age, era, or aeon. You see what I'm saying? So that's what these movies are about. It's just another Jedi versus Archon storyline. See what I'm saying? So there y'all go. There y'all go. 3 movies. Go check them out. You know, Dr. Sleep just hit the street. The Shining been out. The Dark Tower been out. So you got a whole trilogy here. These motherfuckers telling you what it is. What it fucking is. How they treating the kids, what they doing with the kids, just some of the shit that they doing. Kidnapping them, raping them, killing them, harvesting their organs. You see what I'm saying? Sucking up their life force. They doing that to everybody though. They sucking up everybody's life force. You see what I'm saying? And emotional and mental energy. But they really shows you in this movie the breath. They suck up the breath and make themselves stronger to extend their life. Because it's life force. You see what I'm saying? So they showed you directly in Dr. Sleep what they doing with that shit. And then you got the first one, the first one. Once they kill you, if they ritualize you and kill you in the fucking first movie, you get absorbed into their archonic realm. You see what I'm saying? The Armentian dimension. You see what I'm saying? Which is what the Overlook Hotel was. The embodiment of the Armentian dimension at the end of the day. It's also his subconscious mind, you see what I'm saying, that he had to work through all that bullshit. But in the eyes of the archons, it's the Armentian dimension. So it was he said in the movie, it wasn't a person, it was a place. So the message for all 3 of these movies is shine on. That's what my hashtag is, shine on. Cause that was Danny's mistake. He tried to hide his shine. Ain't nothing wrong with masking your shine so you can walk through this motherfucker better. But at the same time, you still gotta shine on. You still gotta use your shine, your soul glow, to help other people in their time of need. And you're gonna always come across different starseeds who looking to find their way. You see what I'm saying? The young starseeds looking to find their way ain't got nobody to show them what the fuck going on. So you, the Jedi Master who've already been there, can help them. Just like Dick did Danny. Like Danny did Abra. Like Roland did Jake. You see what I'm saying? And Jake actually helped Roland as well. So 5 generations of shiners, of starseeds, of Jedi showing you what it is. You see what I'm saying? What it is. So there you go. That's what it is. That's the story. That's how it all go. So, pretty much ended there. Any questions? Any questions before I get up out of here? Well, alright. If y'all don't have any questions, I'm Marvin Jones. Y'all put the word out. Share this with your friends. Y'all can check out my other code lectures on YouTube, The Melody Order. And I'm out. Peace. Shine on.